Got invited to a barbecue by a famous male porn star. When we showed up, quickly realized this was no normal barbecue. That was just the setting for the scene. People who have been extras on a porn shoot? What's your story? What's up, viewer? Thanks for coming back to another Alien Radio Storytime. It's your favorite storyteller Andrew, back at it again. Since you're already here, you might as well like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell button. If you don't, then you're mom gay. No more waiting, let's get started with today's stories. Saw a gif earlier where the dude pulls a script out, says thought I was an extra today, but okay, and gets his dick sucked, haha. I used to DJ at a duck club, swingers bar, or whatever you call them in your area. Not quite the same, but you just stopped noticing the naked after a short while. Not me, but this guy called Joey. He was an extra and he was the printer boy trying fix the copier while people having sex on it. His only line was, you know, that's bad for the paper tray. Knew a girl who was an extra in one of the Dancing Bears. She said that everyone signed a waiver and the main chicks in the video, that the strippers were actual porn stars, but a few extras got carried away and sucked the stripper's dick. My time to shine. A few years back I was offered a role in a porn, and as I was excited about the offer I accepted. It was a standard uninterested husband horny wife plot. I stayed under the covers and pretended to be asleep while ass got smashed around me. My buddy used to be a camera guy, and his wife was the makeup artist on adult films in Chatsworth, California. They invited me to come visit. I didn't know this meant I'd be in a scene. It was called Frat House Duckfest, and I'm the guy yelling "duck her face" over and over again while eating BBQ chicken. Guess I'll contribute one. Before anyone asks, no sauce is available. It was for a pay site, and I've long since lost the ability to access it. One of my best friends and former FWB ran a website for a low-level porn producer. She talked me into being in front of the camera as sort of a fake cameraman who was on camera filming people have sex. I was supposed to be a husband or boyfriend or whatnot who was filming his partner ducking someone. It was fun, I guess. Got to join in on the post-shoot hot tub parties and slept with a few of the girls when they were off duty. All in all, it was a thing I did during my wilder days. In the 80s my dad owned a video store and was approached by an adult video production company to shoot the intro to one of their movies in his store. He agreed, and on the day of the shoot they informed him that they needed one of the employees to be in the scene as the video store clerk. So there's probably 10 seconds of this hour-long movie with my dad showing these two women to the adult section of the store. Cut to a few months later, the production company wants to do a soft-core cut of the movie for cable channels, and my dad's scene is in the preview for it on the Playboy channel. He gets a call one night from his sister yelling at him about how he's in a porno. Apparently her husband liked to watch the Playboy channel and saw it. My dad had to explain how he wasn't actually in it, etc. He got a lot of calls while that preview was being shown, haha. My dad is an actor, and one of his first jobs was being the main non-sexual role in a porno. He basically visited his high school graduation class crushes and was there to look at them having sex with other dudes. It's ducking hilarious. He basically said he got paid like $500 for the day back in the 80s and was just improvising the entire time. There's a scene where he smiles at the camera while peeking through his roommate's door, and the last scene is him half talking half crying to his roommate while he and another chick are going at it hard. The porno itself is absolute crap. He was definitely the highlight. Can't remember the name though, found it on Zamster. I was assured it wasn't a porn, just an erotic film, by the guy who introduced me to the project, but a few things tipped me off. Every other actor there was a porn actor. We had an alibi if the owner asked us what we were shooting. The title was a sexy riff on a well-known TV show. The director had exclusively directed porn for 40 years. Saw them shooting a scene where a dude was actively jerking off to a naked woman dancing. I just played a cop and never had to drop trousers. Highest paid acting gig I'd ever gotten up to that point in my life. When they asked me what I wanted to credit myself as, I realized I couldn't put my name on it, so I chose my friend's name to whom I owed some mild revenge. It's still on his IMDb profile. Sorry, Mike. I was an extra for a public disgrace and an upper floor shoot for kink.com. It was super cool. For public disgrace they had an open bar, but if you chose not to drink, you could actually play with the model during a couple parts of the shoot. This one chick jumped in at the first opportunity and just went to town finger banging the model lol. The upper floor shoot was basically a fancy sex party with a porn being shot in the background. They had an open bar, delicious appetizers, sex toys and furniture to use. In the outside halls they had giant oil paintings of crazy kink shoots placed in golden ornate frames. It was the most posh sexy thing I've ever done. Wasn't an extra, but when I was a student and just starting out in photography I lived in Miami, I met a model, Anita Dark, who asked me to photograph her. I didn't know of her at the time. It came out later in the conversation that she was a porn star. She was really nice and sweet and asked me to shoot her and a couple of her friends for her website. I was young and single, she was seriously nice and hot so figured why not. Turned up at her house to find her and two friends nude putting on makeup in the bathroom. Her manager was there along with another girl who was filming with a video camera. After highs and introductions I started shooting Anita's two friends who were doing a lesbian scene. During one point while one girl was doing the other with a dildo, she looked me right in the eyes and said, "It's been ages since I've had a real dick." I then noticed that the girl with the video camera was filming me. I figured out quite quickly that they were hoping I'd join in. I stayed professional, figured that my family would be really disappointed in me and finished the shoot. Said goodbye, sent them the photos, and that was the last of my porn photographer days. Edit. Went to bed with about 10 people calling me an idiot. Not a problem, plus my wife regularly likes to call me the same so I felt the love. Actually me. Friend worked for a major company whose logo you will see on memes, got invited to be an extra and did so several times. Got paid a flat rate of $100 shoot. Some would last longer, parodies involving costumes makeup such as zombie, others would last just a couple hours, often played the BF who got cheated on. Talent was always super friendly and nice, no terrible stories. Sometimes a lot of waiting around while they shot the sex scenes, sometimes they would cut just to focus on female talent, saw male talent outside studio doing what he could to maintain stiffness. Some talent and extras would be using stimulants, but nothing terrible drug-wise. It was a job for everyone. Pretty professional and fun. They would often buy lunch for everyone on longer shoots. Easy cash and fun times, female talent would be overly flirty. Did a zombie parody and Star Wars one amongst other shoots where my girlfriend had sex with the teacher to get out of failing grades for both of us, or she had sex through's glory hole in a changing room whilst I waited outside. Probably not as exciting an answer as hoped, but if here are any specific questions I'd be happy to answer. Edit. Couple things coming up. When I said girlfriend I mean it in the context of the story of the porn we were shooting, not my actual girlfriend. But wouldn't have been opposed to dating one either. I had a girlfriend at the time that was not cheating on me. One thing of note that's kind of funny to mention is when they're shooting sex scenes there are usually a lot of cuts and actions. It's amazing how in the middle of sex they can stop or start, and the female talent can turn off and on the pleasure, sounds like it's nothing. From completely silent to sounding like she's having the biggest orgasm of her life in 1 second flat, that's quality acting. I was an extra in scores of adult videos for one of the bigger websites. Here is how. A buddy of mine was super into porn, not just watching, but fanboyed the girls, liked to go to conventions. I always found the conventions awkward myself. He asked me to go with him one year, so I did. We stopped at a booth, he wanted to get some autographs, I didn't care to, so he jumped in line, and I hung back behind the crowd. I stuck up a conversation with some English dude, he was super cool. Quickly discovered he was a popular male talent. I asked him, hey, you know, in like a classroom scene there are students who start in the class but leave when the sex starts, how does one get to be those guys? Oh dude, we always need extras. Hey, we are having a barbecue on Saturday, if you want to come you should text me. I take his number, tell my buddy about it when he comes back and he freaks out. He wants to go, I text Kieran, he gives me the details. Huge mansion in the Hollywood Hills. We park, knock on the door. Some random dude with a shaved head answers, you the guys Kieran invited? Yeah. Cool, come on in. The guy was the cameraman. He had us sign some waivers and filmed us saying our names, that we were not under the influence, and we were 18 while holding our IDs up. Quickly realized this was no normal barbecue. That was just the setting for the scene. The crew, 3 people, Kieran and the starlet, were all super cool people, very nice. Didn't mind any of our questions and were super welcoming. Their crew was 3 people, a director, a set builder, and a cameraman. The starlet was there and Kieran. A married porn couple was also there just hanging out and weren't in the scene at all. We had no lines, but we're just supposed to pretend we were talking with Kieran and give some looks at the beautiful girl in the bikini outside, things like this. We were there for a few hours. At one point I was told if I was thirsty to help myself to Cokes in the pantry. I opened it up. And it was wall-to-wall condoms, home enema kits, and roll after roll of paper towels. On the floor was one 12-pack under a box of plastic gloves. Was super interesting. Eventually they had the shots they needed from us extras and were going to get to the action. We were given $100 checks and were thanked for our time. The director liked us and asked if we'd like to do it again, flat $100 per day. We said yes, and he told us his assistant would be in contact whenever we were needed. I did scores of scenes and got a lot of my friends extra work too. I was a football player, a married guy whose wife cheated on him, did that several times, a club goer, a survivor-like contestant, a wedding guest, a ping pong player at a party, and time of other things. It was a lot of fun, met a lot of really cool people, and got some great stories. The crew and most porn stars I met were all super nice, relaxed people. Was definitely an interesting time.
Like and subscribe for more funny, interesting, and scary r/ask Reddit videos.